Circle of light. Thank you for bearing your light here, the light of God, the light of the one, not the personal light. It's just such a beautiful symbol of willingness together to look at the desire to deny that the atonement's here, wanting to deny the atonement. Jesus was showing me that desire not to be atoned. No atonement X, hashtag I held no atonement. And it's such a beautiful demonstration, really, that we can look at him with every single thing without any guilt. And we can ask infinite light, that's the big relax. You can feel yourself relax. We can relax. Ask Jesus and the light of divine, because we can all hear him. Can we just relax and be what we are? No Christmas decorations hanging on the tree. We are Christmas. We are another hashtag. He said, we are. Christmas already happened. Let's ask the light. We're just looking at the play in consciousness to put an X over it. And we thought no smoking was a helpful sign. No denials of divinity. It's even more helpful. It's a fast way to happiness. It's a fast way to happiness. You see that? Just because you see that, you can, the experience here, like becoming so comfortable with Jesus, just have a conversation. All right. Here comes another one. And we can laugh with them, be present with them, show me directly with him. As the kindness, we're talking to the gentleness in our hearts for ourselves. We're talking to the gentleness of who we are when we talk to him, rather than the other voice that denies the atonement. You're an idiot, you're stupid, you can't, you'll never be good enough. You'll listen to the words and the beliefs in there. But he changes it. I have a desire to feel stupid. I have a desire to never be good enough. And really, you don't have it. Who has it? I desire, because you can't really have it. You can desire it, but you can't ever have it. See if the light ever has stupid. Does the light ever have any stupid? Yet we all recognize that play. Not ever being good enough play. Can the light ever not be good enough? Where is it? Not good enough is MIA. In the light. No, I don't want to be atoned. I desire an experience of not being good enough. No, I don't want to be atoned. But until we admit that, there's no place to go except to stay in perpetual hell. Ask the light. Perpetual no, don't come near me, Jesus. So we're saying, don't come near me to myself. Don't be intimate with myself. With all that is. So it's really beautiful that he's reminding us, he's giving us the gift of reminding us who's Papa Bear in charge of the atonement. Who's in charge? That's relaxed too, and we see it. Several meanings have been expressing that as such a beautiful reminder. Who's in? Let's just ask so we're totally clear. Who's in charge of the atonement? Jesus, we'll change that little, that little cartoon. What are we, egos? What don't we want? The atonement. At least we can be honest. You don't want the atonement. Why? Because we like suffering. Oh, doesn't feel so funny in the middle of it. But he's giving us such a gift, and he says, lesson 297, forgiveness is the only gift I give. See, until we lay it down, the swords of guilt, and because we keep falling on our sword of guilt and falling on our sword of I did something wrong, and falling on the sword of the belief in error is real. It's a defense not to just look directly with them and go, all right, because we can see directly that when we look, the light, is the light pain? Is the light out to get anybody? It just is. Yet as long as their belief, and we make that false association, that misperception that the light's out to get us, we can't be helped by the one who knows. We can't be helped by the light, by the part of us that remembers it ain't so that we're not good enough. The desire for the experience of not being good enough for God, exactly as he made us to pretend. The pretending, the death pretend. And then disguise, it's all cloaked under, I don't want the atonement. I don't want the atonement. I'm not good enough. I don't want it. And so the only way through our pain, I don't want the atonement. That's all, every one of those is, I don't want the atonement. You can ask Jesus. Let's ask the light of divine being. Is that true? Because we're already atoned in the light of divine being. It's too late. So then he gives us this gift. Forgiveness is the only gift I give. Forgiving. Let's ask the light. Is forgiving the only gift I give to myself? The only gift, true gift. I want to buy myself diamonds and earrings and rings and things and things. The gift. I want to take care of my body and be a happy body. And if I just take care of it, I'll be happy. If I forgive that I want one, I'll be happy. I'll see that I'm happiness. If I give myself the gift of forgiveness, I'll see that I'm already happiness itself. We can ask the light that. Is that true? And hear the yes. Who is the recipient of the gift of forgiveness? Does it go out? See, there's an idea in the world that forgiveness, I'll bestow upon you. The bestowal of forgiveness is the denial of it. It's acceptance, as acceptance of the infinite light of being, acceptance of forgiveness. It's the only gift I want to give myself. All I want for Christmas is me, infinite. All I want for Christmas is God. And you can use all I want is Christmas is you, Jesus. When you sing that song, he can turn anything around to point back to infinite, because it's all pointing to infinite. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness not to want forgiveness, to gift myself with forgiveness? Please show me that desire. Show me how much I don't want it. See, until we see we don't want it, till we admit we don't want it, we can't accept it. Because the prayer, remember we were talking about the prayer below the level of awareness. That deep prayer below the level of awareness not to be atoned. The deep prayer below awareness to deny we're worthy of forgiveness. The desire for the experience of unworthiness, just to be already what we are. And everything I give myself. As giving and receiving is one. In the light of divine being and honesty of God, is everything I give myself. You know, that story, I've given you everything. You're giving me nothing. That argument. I give you. See, there's a you in that, and there's an other, and there's a desire to be empty in that giving. Look what we've done for you. Look what God's done for us. Light, pure, infinite light. Look what we're giving ourselves and each other. Has there ever been a more extraordinary gift? This joining. To have each other in this way, in a whole new way, not in the way of the relationships of the world. The way of relationship to the world is to withhold forgiveness from ourselves. To have holy purpose, the only purpose for joining, holy purpose to see what's true. 2 or more gathered in his name. Pulling out the worksheet. Just go through it like you've never seen the sheet before, every time. I don't know anything about this sheet. Let's do it just fresh. Starting out, Jesus reminded me even to put in our descriptions. He's reminding me to put in there, ask me which miracles as I am in control of the atonement. So Jesus, we're asking you now. Please share with us which miracles today, which desires to look at with you, the desires to deny the atonement. He says that's the direct means. To see that energetic no to the self, even though it can't occur in light. And of course, he always says, start with light. And let me just come with me, hold my hand, step below all the battle. Remember you say above the battlefield? When you hold his hand, you're above the battlefield. Infinite light. Does infinite light know about a battlefield? Like, as you know, favorite movie these days, Hacksaw Ridge. We can go above the battlefield anytime. Jesus, what is your Father? What I don't understand. I can't hear you. What is your will? And then he turns, he goes right back into the smoke and fire. Because what he's teaching in that is to stand into it. One, of course, that we can hear him. That's what he feels like he's teaching here. Every circumstance without exception. Because it's reminding us that we're the power. We're the same. We're given everything by the Father. And everything I give myself. This is salvation's simple formula. To give ourselves everything rather than deny we have everything. To give as the Father gives, everything. The ego's idea of giving is to give away. And to project, try to toss it out. Yet we see to try to give away projection is to keep it. This morning he was reminding me, he's really helping us see all the ways that it goes sideways. Everything he points to, you just see it in innocence and just go, yes, you're right. And when you're looking, just know that we start to experience that we really don't want to look. That's the whole play. So the anger comes up and the fear comes up and it's just, as Muji calls it, the ego tosses stones in the bush. And then we dive into the bush after the, and then we're impaled on the bush, Help me, I'm helpless, I'm stuck on this bush. No, I have a desired experience to be stuck on the bush because I don't want to look. See, he's translating every sin. Well, maybe we'll come up with a little mini hashtag code book. What do I really mean? What is honesty of God when I say this? What does it mean? When I say this, when this comes out of my mouth, what does it mean? Innocently, it's innocence. It's not when you hear it come out of your brother's mouth. Is it our function? Our function is to go, okay, now, Jesus, is there any of that energy left in here? That's our only function. Is there any way that I'm using any of that to deny? Because a lot of times, I remember I was watching a couple, you've said it too. It's sort of like when a brother mentions something, you feel a sigh of relief. Well, I don't have that. Well, if you say that, you still do. Yeah, we'll do. We're going to have some fun things, I think, some really playful things, because that's just what's most helpful. Really playful. When the ego says this is what it means. The translation. Like sort of, that Texas slang book, and you can buy one of those little books, or an Aussie book too. We'll have one for New Zealand for Teresa, but where you go to Australia and they have a little translation so you can understand what those little terms mean in there. When somebody's speaking, what's the Barbie? What's a Mozzie? And you need to have it translated. We'll have one from Jesus. So he was just pointing to me, some of the little tricks that come up when there's resistance to looking, so that we can see what they are. And a lot of times there won't be a flat out admission. This is how the ego defends itself. It won't go till, oh, I really do have that. It won't go to that. That's where it has to go to. It's like, oh man, yes. Wow. Okay. It's almost like that kind of profound, oh, you're so right, Jesus. And it'll kind of try to stay up. It'll play up in that, well, it's got to be there because I'm experiencing, it's going to be a toss off. So we're going to see the ping, really going deep on seeing where the ping's off. We can ask the light about it, because that's just an expression. So we don't judge it if it shows up in our brother. We just check in with Jesus. Is that still appearing? Do I have can you show me places where I'm pinging off of looking directly? And then he'll say, okay, here's where you're pinging. Here's the ping off of really looking deeply to see how much I don't want forgiveness for myself, to give the gift of forgiveness. And I, who would be saved, would make it mine to be the way I live within a world that needs salvation. So we just look again, is there any desire not to be easily forgiven? Do I want forgiveness to be hard? Let's ask him. Let's start with that. Jesus, do I want forgiveness to be really hard and painful? See how we're toasting ourselves. I want forgiveness to be a trial. I'm on trial every time. No, let's ask him. Is the light asking us to bake ourselves on? I was laughing about, looking at desire on the spit, but it's really not that. It's just willing to stand into it first, because there's so much resistance to even looking, and just don't even believe it. Don't sway right or left. And just remember, even if you're burning on a hot fire pit, you're still light. Don't believe it. He says, just don't believe it. And I, who would be saved, would make it mine to be the way I live within a world that needs salvation. And that would be saved as I accept atonement for myself. So Jesus, this is where we're going to ask him, so we can be honest. Is there any desire to deny the atonement for myself? To say no to the atonement? Well, will you show me that? Will you help me with that? See, we have to ask his help, because we're really just giving Jesus the boot all the time. No, don't want you. See, he walked that path to the cross. He's not going to go anywhere. That's the preeminent stand into it, not make it real. true denial of the denial. And he knows how to do that, and that's what he's showing us how to do. Stand into the denial, making anything real in form. Father, how certain are your ways, how sure their final outcome, and how faithfully is every step in my salvation set already. Do I have any desire not to experience that every step in salvation is set already? Okay, I'm willing to look with Jesus at it. That Jesus has the plan for us. Is there any desire not to accept that Jesus has the plan? I'm willing to see that desire and release it and ask for a miracle. The slightest doubt thought that Jesus has my best interests. There have the slightest doubt thought that Jesus does not have my best interests. I'm willing to see it and turn that doubt thought for a miracle. Change in perception. That the one who knows is truly for me. To recognize happiness is my only function. How faithfully is every step in my salvation set already and accomplished by your grace. Grace, what a beautiful thing. Jesus says grace is who you are. It's acceptance who you are. It's grace. It's pure grace. Thanks be to you for your eternal gifts, and thanks to you for my identity. Thank you for who I am, the light. Thanks be to you. You know, it's so beautiful. I'm being reminding how it's Sahaja in the morning. Every morning they get up at 6 and they sing salutations to the light guru. We might start doing that again here. It's really beautiful. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Singing salutations to the light, just singing our little hearts out. That's all we're function is sing our little hearts out. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. You just sing it, singing to the light within, singing with joy, the song of joy that sings within. Thanks to you for my identity, for the light. You know, Muji would go to Papaji place and, just be totally mush. I get mush thinking about Muji, you know? It's just that symbol, that reminder in the light of the one given us to help us find our way until we can see that every brother is given us to find our way. And that we are the way, the truth, and the light lives within us always. Until we accept our full function as supreme happiness, unchanged by time or space. Our true, as Muji calls it so beautifully, our true position as infinite light of being. Thank you, Jesus, for being with us today. Thank you for showing me the glory of God through my brother. And the joy, true joy of hearing Jesus speak through my brother. And for every fulfillment of all the promises of A Course in Miracles. Is it possible in the light of divine being to be choiceless, to see that there is only choiceless awareness in this lifetime, to be fully atoned, fully acceptance of the atonement, and hear his words? You follow me. Follow me. Amen. Love you from San Juan, Kosala. The Light Brigade, singing the song of God in wholeness. Amen.